Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening and a warm welcome to the National News broadcast, bringing you your top stories for tonight. I am Lakshita Dirisingham.
And I'm Kasuni Balachandra Adhikari. We start off with a look at your headlines for tonight.
Voting underway in the US presidential election. The president asserts that the era of bribing and giving commissions to politicians has ended. Voting centers at 60 Buddhist temples to be shifted to other venues. An update on the hike in the price of rice. Prominent attention of the government to uplift rural economy in the next 5 years. Supreme Court orders to recall defense in the court case of Hemasiri and Pujit. Steps taken to recall 15 diplomats who were not from the Sri Lanka Foreign Service. 2025 to be a turning point in tourism.
And we move on to those and other stories in detail. And in your top story coming all the way from the US, this election day voting has begun in the United States with Donald Trump and Kamala Harris competing to become the next president.
Voters in all 50 states and District of Columbia will cast ballots in the presidential contest between Democratic Party Kamala Harris and Republican Party Donald Trump. Presidents are elected using an electoral college which allocates votes to each state based on the number of House and Senate members who represent the state in Congress. A candidate needs at least 270 electoral college votes from 538 to be elected as the President of United States. Most states allocate all their electoral college voters to the winner of the state's popular vote. Nebraska and Maine both allocate 2 of their electoral college votes to the winner of the statewide popular vote and then 1 for the winner in congressional district. Donald Trump's pitch to voters has focused on the economy, immigration and crime, while Kamala Harris, since taking over after President Joe Biden dropped out, has argued she would usher in a new era and has campaigned on improving the economy, protecting abortion rights and guarding democracy.
Now, Kasuni, with the commencement of voting, all eyes are currently on the United States. The world eagerly waits to see who will become the next president of the United States and whether the balance will tilt in favor of the Democrats or the Republicans. We're joined in the studio today by senior journalist Mr. Prasad Dodangodage to bring you more updates on the United States presidential election. Mr. Dodangodage, how is the US presidential election looking so far? Or to put it more directly, who looks like the favorite to win this year's election?
Very difficult question to answer, Lakshita. You know, race is, according to all opinion polls and predictions, race is too close to call. Because now if we take last opinion polls, even those opinion polls suggest a very close or very tight race between 2 main candidates. For example, many of these last opinion polls suggest that Kamala Harris 48% and Donald Trump 47%. That means 1% error, margin of error. So it's a unpredicted result. So now if we take this map, we can clearly see the picture. Now, according to the electoral map of the United States of America, there are dedicated, as we all know, there are dedicated Democratic seats like California, blue seats, as well as dedicated red seats, that means Republicans. But the total the total outcome is depend on undecided or the swing state. So the answer to the question you ask are here. They are the answer will come from either this Rust Belt or Sun Belt. There are 2 set of swing states in the United States of America. the top state we call them Rust Belt because those were previously industrial areas. So if we take these three states, Wisconsin, Michigan and Pennsylvania. Now if we go back to statistics in the previous elections, back in 2016 presidential election, Donald Trump won he totally won this Rust Belt. He won Wisconsin, Michigan and Pennsylvania, and he won 3 states from the Sun Belt as well. Sun Belt means those are the Nevada and Arizona. Those are in the kind of hot weather or the most sunny areas. That's why we call them Sun Belt. So Donald Trump back in 2016, which he fully won the Rust Belt as well as three states from the Sun Belt as well. He won Arizona, North Carolina and Georgia. He lost to only Nevada to Hillary Clinton in that election. But back in 2020, the next election, the picture was totally different. Joe Biden fully won the Rust Belt as well as he won 3 states from the Sun Belt as well. Donald Trump only won North Carolina. So now according to the equation of this mathematics, election mathematics or the electoral college mathematics, when we think about the current election and when we consider all these equations, now most of the pollsters as well as the political analysts, they say if Kamala Harris can win these 3 states, 3 states from the Rust Belt, she can easily pass the margin of 2,270 votes, electoral votes, which she needs to win the presidential election. Either she wins all 4 states from the Sun Belt, swing states in the Sun Belt, then she can win the election according to this equation. But for the Donald Trump, the story is little bit different. If he wins these 3 or the Rust Belt states, still he need 1 state from the Sun Belt as well. And if he win all 4 states in the Sun Belt, again he need 1 state from the Rust Belt as well, according to the equation or the calculations made by US pollsters. So in that picture we can have some kind of idea about this race, but everything can be changed because in 2016 nobody expected the outcome, and this time also it's everything depend on these swing states and the US voters. There are plus points and minus points for both candidates. Now for example, for Kamala Harris, she can count on the women voters, which consists of 51% of the total registered voters in the United States. So she can count on more votes from the women vote base. Then for Donald Trump, his stronghold is the mainly white states and the white population, which consists of 61% of this total US registered voters. So Donald Trump heavily count on this his comfortable vote base of white majority. And among the blacks also, if we take previous elections, for example 2020, in that election, if we take black population, only 8% supported Donald Trump. But according to this year's polls, opinion polls, not the direct vote, but still we are waiting for the direct vote. But according to opinion polls, Donald Trump has increased that margin of 8, he increased it to 15%. So there's a plus point for him as well. And then the Jewish community, they mostly they can vote for Donald Trump because Donald Trump is more pro-Israel than Kamala Harris, according to the beliefs of the US voters. And the US voters who are from the Arabian communities, they mostly lean towards Kamala Harris. That's why Michigan is the swing state. Michigan is more lean towards Kamala Harris. So we are waiting for the outcome, and we can get a clear picture after 12 hours from now, because the first polling station will be closed around 4:30 a.m. Sri Lankan time from the eastern belt. Then the last polling station will be closed around 12 noon tomorrow Sri Lankan time. Between them we can get a clear idea. However, if something happens, if the race is too close to call, and if there are legal challenges like previous time, recountings, then the final results will be delayed like last time. So let's wait and see.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dorangodege, for joining us and for bringing in those insights and analysis into the US presidential election. With that, from all the way from the United States, we come back to home, where the voting in the general election is set to commence in the coming week. Now, the Election Commission says that voting centers would be established at other places instead of 60 Buddhist temples which had been used as voting centers.
And according to the chairman of the commission, RMAL Ratnayaka, 60 Buddhist temples could not be engaged as voting centers in the election this time due to Katina Pinkama and other reasons. Voting centers are in operation throughout the island at 2,203 temples. Chairman of the Election Commission RMAL Ratnayaka said that postal voting for the parliamentary election has now ended. Those employees who missed today to vote can avail the 7th and 8th of this month at the District Returning Officer's office in the concerned Buddhist temples was taken into consideration by the returning officers of all districts. Voting is expected to be held at 2,263 temples. Out of this number, chief Buddhist monks of 2,203 have expressed their satisfaction in this regard. There's no possibility to reserve 45 temples for this purpose of voting due to Katina Puja, and other temples are the 15 temples due to various reasons. Accordingly, those voting centers have been transferred to other locations.
President Anura Kumar Dissanayake says that to achieve the government's targets, the current system of public service should be changed. The president also stated that rural development and upgrading the rural people's social and economic well-being is one of the primary objectives of the government during this term. The president expressed these views during a discussion held today at the Presidential Secretariat with members of the Sri Lanka Administrative Service Association. The President highlighted the necessity of public officials cooperating with the government to successfully implement government initiatives, noting the experiences of government officials is valued and instrumental to implement government policy. The President pointed out that there is a gap between the government's objectives and the traditional operational modalities of the public service. To ensure the effectiveness of government programs aimed at national development, he stated that the functioning of public administration also has to change. President Dissanayake highlighted that combating fraud and corruption is a top priority for the government, stating that failures to implement projects with attention have caused significant damage to the country's economy. He also emphasized that the political leadership will not interfere in the public service, protecting their capacity to operate independently. President Dissanayake mentioned that government officials have a unique responsibility to play in regional development and stressed the need to minimize unnecessary expenses in the public service without cutting public services.
Hector Kobakadwa Agrarian Research and Training Institute says that people are facing the problem of rising rice prices and a shortage of rice today as a result of purchasing paddy without the intervention of the government during the past seasons. This observation has been made in a media briefing held in Colombo today. Professor A.L. Sandikar said that the Paddy Marketing Board had a large number of stores, but the people are experiencing the result of the government not intervening in the purchasing of paddy during the last seasons. He added that this problem could have been sorted out to a certain extent had the government purchased extra stocks of paddy in order to have a buffer stock. He pointed out that the steep hike in the price of rice has been reduced now and has reached the point of stabilization. He also said that there are enough stocks of rice in the country and pointed out that the price of nada rice has also been stabilized. He further said that the price of kiri samba had once reached 360 rupees per kilo along with the price of nada rice, but by now those prices have been reduced. The consumer should have the right to know the amount of money spent in the process of production and the availability of rice stocks in the country. The officials of the Ampara MOH office and public health inspectors have recovered a stock of 20,000 kilograms of paddy which is not fit for consumption, stocked in a store in Ampara.
The Supreme Court has ordered the Colombo High Court trial at bar to recall the defence of the case against former Defence Secretary Sri Fernando and former IGP Pujit Jayasundara regarding the Easter Sunday attacks. The Supreme Court issued this order after considering an appeal submitted by the Attorney General against the acquittal of the former Defence Secretary and the IGP from the allegations related to the Easter Sunday attacks. The Attorney General has filed this case against Sri Fernando and Pujit Jayasundara under several charges with regard to the Easter Sunday attacks. They were accused of failing to prevent the attack even after they have received intelligence information regarding a possible terrorist attack on Easter Sunday. The writ application submitted to the Court of Appeal by former Minister Johnston Fernando requesting an order to be issued preventing him from being arrested was withdrawn today. The petitioner had filed his writ application in connection with the discovery of illegally assembled BMW motor vehicle at the car park of the Colombo Hilton Hotel recently. The Court of Appeal also confirmed the verdict given by the High Court against former Deputy Minister Shantha Premaratna regarding a bribery case. The Court of Appeal has taken this decision following a lengthy trial.
The National Innovation Agency has launched the Global Innovation Index 2024 report this evening at the Institute of Policy Studies of Sri Lanka. This report was issued under the theme of Unlocking the Promise of Social Entrepreneurship. It highlights the innovation of ecosystem performance of 133 economies of the globe. According to the report, Sri Lanka has notably moved up one position to the 89th rank with significant advancements observed in various sub-indices. The report has been published by the World Intellectual Property Organization with an overview of the innovation capabilities and progress of countries worldwide.
At one time, the third archers of the land at that time.
Commercialization can be challenging.
A UNESCO nation, heavily dependent flow.
National Innovation Agency warmly welcomes you all to this second national launch of the Global Innovation Index. This is not a celebration, but more of an event to raise the importance and sensitize the value of the GII framework to the attention of policy and decision makers at this hour of need in Sri Lanka. The position we are having is 89th place within 133 economies. We like to say that this is not the place, that is 89th in 133 economies, where we wish to be or we should be and we deserve to be. But this is the position that the world now see us placed among these 133 economies. And we will be measured by that position. There will be a lot of decisions being made based on that, for FDIs, migration, and all sorts of things. So it's important for us that whatever our views on it, we must understand this process, respect it, and factor into our work. Now this 17th edition of the GII of WIPO specially looks at the social entrepreneurship and innovation. There's a need imperative for us to realize social advances in the sphere of poverty, education, nutrition and energy. The economic crisis, the COVID had also shown us moving backwards, and we probably have new normals that we are not happy about. And in all these spheres, from nutrition, the security and so on, we have moved back. The entrepreneurs who resort to engage in this space, meaning social empowerment, but working with market-based instruments, have to generate perhaps novel, innovative business models, which are necessary innovations to succeed. We do take business models as innovations. That is one of the pillars. So you innovate in that, and there's a lot of to be gained by that innovation.
President Kumar Dissanayake says that the era of bribing and giving commissions to politicians has ended at present.
The president therefore stresses that even the public servants should not take bribes. He made these remarks addressing a public rally held in Monaragala yesterday. This Monaragala district rally was held in Vellavai public grounds to confirm the victory of the candidates of the National People's Power at the general election. Several NPP candidates of the district addressed the meeting. R.M. Jayawardena of the National People's Power said that Monaragala is the poorest district in the country and we all have the responsibility of making it economically rich. He said that therefore all voters of the Monaragala district should cast their votes on the 14th of this month to build up a stable parliament. Addressing the rally, the president said a rule that consider all are equal in front of the law has been created at present. President Kumar Dissanayake said that the National People's Power has created an environment in the country in which any political movement can express their views independently. He said that the NPP has also secured the freedom of the people at present. The president said that in this background, any citizen is able to cast their vote without fear or suspicion. He said that if any party other than the NPP won the presidential election, there would not be a peaceful situation in the country. The president said that today, all political parties have the freedom to carry out their election campaigns without any disturbances. However, the other political parties have no strength to conduct their election campaigns enthusiastically since they do not have public support. He said now that police discover unregistered vehicles hidden in many parts of the island. The president said that former politicians have illegally brought these vehicles into the country without even paying custom duties. He said that however, the government will take legal actions against the culprits, proving that law is equal for any individual. He further said that Sri Lanka has the capacity of generating solar power. He said that however, when foreign investors are trying to start solar power projects, the relevant minister demands a ransom or bribe. President Dissanayake said now that the NPP government has eliminated corrupted culture. He said that politicians can no more take bribes. He added that therefore the public servants should also follow suit and desist themselves from such corrupted practices. He stressed that the government also requests the people to not grant bribes to any government official to get a service done.
Leader of the Samaga Janabalawegya, Sajid Premadasa, says that the country needs a rule with a state policy that understands the burden of the people and provides solutions for this matter. He made these remarks at a public rally held in Colombo North yesterday. A large number of party supporters were present at this rally organised by the Samaga Janabalawegya. Leader of the Samaga Janabalawegya, Sajid Premadasa, said that he promises the public to reduce the current economic burden of the people by changing the current IMF agreement. He said that the Samaga Janabalawegya government will increase the income of the public and therefore people should vote for the SJB to form a government at this general election. The leader also mentioned that the country needs mature rule with leaders who understand the suffering of people and that the SJB will implement a state policy to find solutions for the problems faced by the general public.
Former President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that a strong program is required for the progress of the country, where debt sustainability and stability have been achieved. He made this observation participating in a rally held in this evening in Kalutara. The aim of this rally was to confirm the victory of candidates contesting in the Kalutara district from the New Democratic Front in the general election. Former President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that majority of the people are not discussing the present condition of the economy. He added that debt sustainability has been brought and economy has been stabilized to a certain extent. Ranil Wickremesinghe also pointed out that politicians should discuss as to how the debt sustainability is to be maintained, but they are not discussing this matter. He added that the party contesting under the gas cylinder symbol wishes to get elected to the parliament with a proper program, and all the other parties do not possess such a clear-cut policy. He also said that Nalinda Jayatissa has elaborated the point of improving the economy, and this has to be noted since it is a good suggestion.
Leader of the Sarva Janapalaya Party, Dilip Jayveera, says that due to the behaviour of the former president, Ranil Wickremesinghe, all political parties of the country have declined at present. He pointed out that Sarva Janapalaya is the only party that will be able to create a strong opposition. He made these remarks joining the opening ceremony of the Ratmalan Electorate Election Operations Office of the Sarva Janapalaya Party today. Leader of the Sarva Janapalaya Party, Dilip Jayveera, said that Sarva Janapalaya Party has become the only live political force in Sri Lanka at present, and that former President Ranil Wickremesinghe has paved the way for the elimination of all conventional political parties in the country. He added that they carried out politics at the Tummula junction facing the violence instigated by the former Ranasinghe Premadasa rule, and that he had been taken into custody by the Cinnamon Gardens police several times. He also said that therefore they will form an opposition with brave leaders with the blessings of the brave people.
It has been decided to call back into this country 15 ambassadors and high commissioners who were not in the Sri Lankan Foreign Service. Accordingly, it has been reported that the permanent representative at the United Nations in New York will be called back, along with the representatives of Australia, Indonesia, Japan, Malaysia, Kenya, Seychelles, Cuba, the United Kingdom, India, the Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, Iran and the United Arab Emirates. Sri Lanka Overseas Services commenced on the 1st of October in 1949. Later on, it has been renamed as the Sri Lanka Foreign Service. Officials attached to the Foreign Ministry and affiliated ministries have been named as Foreign Service officers who officiate in Embassy, High Commission and Consul General offices abroad. Applicants who receive a first division or special degree from a recognized university appearing for a competitive examination and selected after facing an interview and scoring the highest marks are recruited as officials to the Sri Lanka Foreign Service. The President reserves the right to appoint Chief of the Mission under Article 33 of the Constitution. The appointing of diplomatic agents or embassy representatives is done under the purview of the President, and the appointment of non-executive persons are being done by selecting from among those who score highest marks in a competitive examination. Although it has been accepted, or rather the accepted norm during a period of more than 10 decades, persons who are not from Sri Lanka Foreign Service were appointed as ambassadors and high commissioners. Occasions of appointing persons on political favoritism could be noticed for non-executive posts as well. In India, for IFS or Indian Foreign Service, officers are being appointed purely on qualifications. Qualified executive and non-executive officers were inducted to Indian Foreign Service after a complete supervision. They have been termed as ideal officers, and authorities in that country never appoint persons outside Indian Foreign Service, unlike in Sri Lanka. By now, there are 35 embassies, 12 high commissions, 2 permanent representative posts in the United Nations Organization, 10 consul general posts, a deputy high commissioner's post and a state representative post existing under the Ministry of Sri Lanka Foreign Service. Accordingly, in Sri Lanka Foreign Service, there are 61 embassy and high commission officers. The term of office is 3 years in the posts of Sri Lanka Foreign Service, including ambassadors and high commissioners. The term of office of those who are not in the Foreign Service is 2 years. According to the foreign information analysts, calling back of ambassadors, high commissioners and other officiating in offices abroad after being appointed as from the non-Sri Lanka Foreign Service is being considered as a positive step.
30 internationally acclaimed tourist bloggers and social media persons have arrived in Sri Lanka for the first time. The aim of the tour is to make 2025 the year of highest number of tourist arrivals to Sri Lanka. The group, which arrived in the island on the 30th of last month, will be staying till the 8th of November and at the same time would be travelling in all 9 districts of the country. This includes tourist bloggers from 10 countries: the United Kingdom, Germany, Italy, France, Australia, India and Hong Kong. According to the chairman of the Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau, Buddhika Vasam, they are expecting to exchange the beauty, attraction and unique experiences with their fans live. They aim to circulate information about tourist destinations through Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok and LinkedIn, which are being used by a large number of people as social media platforms. The group has arrived in Sri Lanka in accordance with a special program organized by the Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau.
The thing that we are really proud about is for our annual event. The name is ABVP Travel Fest, and it's a travel fest. So what we do, we invite speakers from all over the world to go to Portugal and speak about their experience, about the things that they do. And the thing is, it would be really nice to have like an invited country. Sri Lanka would be just a great fit because they had us here. We have the content, but it would be really nice to have like Sri Lanka as the invited country in our event.
We have 30 individuals from 30 unique individuals from 10 different countries coming to visit us, coming to take the particular experience of ours and to take it to the world, take it to your particular communities. That is exactly what we want. And I think this is just beginning of the tour itself. So you will enjoy Sri Lanka in various different aspects. Sometimes what you enjoy is something yet to be enjoyed by your colleagues, your friends and your families in the other countries. So that's what we want to showcase to you. So take us to the world is what we expect from you. So not only taking us to the world, be part with us as well, because we are maybe friends, maybe relatives, maybe brothers and sisters, because we are in one world itself. And this particular global arena, we have something unique to
people, culture, all the amazing shots, be it mountains, beaches and everything, like activities. You want adventure activity, you want to do scuba diving, you want to climb a mountain. You just as simple as like early morning when I got up today, I actually took a run where we were coming by the bus. Just next to the beach, you have the railway track, right? You can do a simple run there. So that itself is so beautiful. So what I would say is Sri Lanka, every time you come, you find something new. Like you wouldn't get bored. I'm here for the 16th time and still 80% of my itinerary is actually something which I have not seen. So that tells a lot about this place. And also the people, be it the tourism board, hospitality, hotel partners or even locals, right? When we were coming in the bus, everyone was cheering us. They were like genuinely happy to help us or show the country, show their love. That's what I've been seeing here. Looking forward to come more time here and enjoy. And I'm sure I'm going to find even more after coming, like not only 16 times but 50 more times as well. Thank you so much.
Kavinda de Soisa has been appointed as the new chairman of Bank of Ceylon. Kavinda de Soisa, who started his career as a banking assistant at the age of 18, has served in several private finance and banking institutions. He has conducted a study at executive level in the area of data analysis at the Chicago University. He is also a quantity specialist in capital markets, advisory services, management accounting, strategic and institutional planning, as well as of a host of other subjects.
The body of late former Vice-Chancellor of Sri Jayawardhanapura University, Emeritus Professor Chandiba Vijay Bandara, was handed over to the medical faculty of that university. He passed away on the 3rd of this month. Chandima Vijay Bandara has been the first student to achieve first-class pass in the special degree on Buddhist civilization from the University of Peradeniya. He received his doctorate from the Lancaster University of London in 1970. Professor Chandima Vijay Bandara for a long time fulfilled his academic mission for the university students as an assistant lecturer, dean and a vice-chancellor. In this respect, he compiled a host of literary volumes, and he has also been the pioneer in introducing the subject of Buddhist civilization to the school curriculum. He was aged 80 when he passed away on the 3rd of November at the Colombo National Hospital.
And in your sports news tonight, the Sri Lanka cricket team arrived in the island early in the morning today after winning the championship of the Hong Kong Sixers cricket tournament.
Officials of Sri Lanka cricket were present at the Katunayake International Airport to receive them.
The tournament was held at the Mission Road Stadium in Hong Kong for 3 days. The tournament, which was commenced in 1992, was held this time after temporarily being suspended in the year 2017. The Sri Lanka team, captained by Lahiru Madhushankar, included Lahiru Samarakon, Nimesh Vimukthi, Sandur Virakodi, Dhananjay Lakshan, Tharidu Ratnayaka and Thanuka Dabare. Sri Lanka won the championship in the final match, defeating Pakistan by 3 wickets. This has been the second time Sri Lanka won the Hong Kong Sixers cricket tournament championship. Sri Lanka had been the champions of this tournament in 2007.
The New Zealand cricket team participating in a T20 and One-Day international tournament with Sri Lanka arrived in the island last night. The tournament is expected to start on the 9th of this month. The cricket tournament between Sri Lanka and New Zealand includes 2 T20 matches and 3 One-Day internationals. Mitchell Santner is the captain of the New Zealand cricket team, which is participating in this tournament. The first T20 match of the tournament will be held on the 9th of this month, while the second match will be played on the 10th of this month. It has been planned to play both matches at the Dambulla International Cricket Stadium. The 3 One-Day internationals will be played on the 13th, 17th and the 19th of this month. Sri Lanka Cricket yesterday issued to the media the process of issuing entrance tickets of the tournament. Accordingly, fans will be able to get their tickets issued online. In the meantime, entrance tickets can also be purchased from the ticket counter at Vidyamavata, Colombo and the ticket counter of the Dambulla International Cricket Stadium. Sri Lanka Cricket announced that the entrance tickets could be purchased at the gate of the stadium concerned for the T20 matches. The entrance ticket counter at the Pallekele International Cricket Stadium would be opened on the 15th of this month. And that's all the stories for tonight. Do join us tomorrow for more of the very latest. Until then, good night.
Good night.